I will get started here. Perfect. Awesome. So thanks y'all so much for joining. I'm super thrilled. This is our first expert education webinar, and we've been rolling out some exciting new features in the platform. So I would love to spend this opportunity showcasing what those features are, how to use them, how we're seeing other experts be successful in using them in the platform. And really our goal for today is for you to walk away with the knowledge that you would need to get started adopting or using these features, and answering any questions you have along the way. So with that, I should probably introduce myself for those of you who I have not met. My name is Chelsea. I'm Director of Community and Partnerships here at Expert Session. I've been with the team since our beginning, and super excited to meet some of you, hopefully on one-to-one calls, meet some of you here in the room, and really just elevate your success on the platform is my ethos and our ethos when it comes to Expert Session and community building here. So Flo, we have Florentina, by the way, in the background. When I say Flo or Florentina, she's the one clicking through the slides, doing all the tech support. So thank you to Florentina, our hidden warrior behind the screen. And so I will just go ahead and hop right into some of the content here today. If you have any questions as I go along, feel free to drop them into the Q&A section there on the bottom. I'll be sure to make a note of those and address some of those towards the end of our presentation today. So feel free to drop them in as they come up, and we'll be sure to leave some room in the end to address all of those confusions or areas of questions there. So to get things kickstarted, I wanted to just create a bit of framing on what Expert Session is. Some folks in the room, you might already have this knowledge. We might have already engaged about this, but for any new folks, Expert Session is a new platform that connects people who need advice, a problem solved, want to learn something new, with top-notch experts across a variety of fields on paid one-to-one virtual sessions. And for everyone in the room, I am assuming you're all experts or wanting to become one on the platform. And on your side, experts on the platform can have a one-stop shop to manage everything that they would need for their knowledge sharing business. So a place to create your profile, to add in your availability, to get booked, to meet in the platform and get paid. So we're hoping it can be a straightforward way for you to get started sharing what you're passionate about and getting paid to do that. So we have both audiences, what we call learners, those booking sessions, and experts, those providing services. And we aim to support both. All right, next slide. So what we're really aiming to do on the expert side, and what is my bread and butter here at Expert Session, is supporting our community of experts. What that looks like, and our mission is really to empower you to have opportunities to enhance your visibility, grow your own network, and be able to effectively monetize your knowledge. The way we're approaching that this quarter and probably in future quarters is in-person and virtual events. So thank you for coming to our inaugural expert education webinar. We will definitely be having more of these in the future. So when you get an email at the end of this webinar tomorrow that asks for your feedback, please do share it. We're always looking to make our events better and stronger from here on out. But essentially, we want to provide events, initiatives, and opportunities for you to shine in your expertise and to really elevate your success on the platform. So what we're diving deeper into today are a couple of features that we've rolled out in these past couple of months in the platform. So for those who have been around since the start of our launch and journey as a platform, or those just getting started, we wanted to have this opportunity to share a bit more about what's involved with these new features, how they can support you in monetizing your knowledge, and effective ways to use them and consider using them. So today we're going to be walking through About My Sessions, which is a new section on the expert profile, complements the bio, so we'll dive deeper into that. We just rolled out an opportunity to add articles to your expert profile and be able to share those out, additional content, ways to boost your credibility. So we'll share a bit more there. discount codes, pretty self-explanatory, but we'll walk through best practices. And we added a section in the My Dashboard area of the platform where it provides some opportunities for you to boost your bookings, to really get the word out there that you're on expert session, that you're hosting sessions about XYZ topics. So we'll be showcasing what those options look like to share your profile out. All right, let's hop into the first one here. About my sessions, the reason we created this section on the expert profile, and for context, you can find it if you navigate on the left hand navigation bar, My Expert Profile. It'll bring you to the edit screen on your overall profile, and it's right below the bio section. And what we learned through launching the platform and guiding experts to be successful is that the bio was doing a little bit of heavy lifting, right? The bio has to communicate who you are, what your areas of expertise are about, your accomplishments and accolades as it relates to your sessions, what your sessions are about, who should book you. It's just a lot to, the bio is doing a lot of heavy lifting. So we created this section as a way to break up the bio and really retain the bio for explaining who you are, what you do, why you do it, and the About My Session section really being for giving that a little bit more context into what your sessions are about and who should book you, why they should book with you, what they will get out of those sessions, and communicate the session-based value there. So that's a bit more about like the why behind this section. And the way that it works is anytime you enter a line of text in this section and click save, it will be formatted as a bullet, and you can add as many bullets as you'd like. And we're going to walk through some examples of how you could format this section and the best practices there. All right, so you can go ahead and flip over. So about my sessions, why we created this section, it communicates unique reasons why someone should book with you and what they would expect on a session. What we found is that there might be a little bit of ambiguity in some folks' expert profiles where at face value, the expert is really impressive. They're listing their accomplishments, who they are, what things they've been involved with, but there wasn't a lot of clarity of when someone books a time with you, what should they expect? And so that's really the crux of About My Sessions. And you can still have that information in your bio. If you feel like formatting wise, it makes sense to only use your bio and not use About My Sessions, you're welcome to do that. But we suggest really leaning on both sections to complement each other. So questions you should aim to answer in your bio or About My Session section: who is a good fit to book a session with you? Who's your unique audience? On my expert profile, I call out that community professionals should meet with me. That's a unique audience. I'm not meeting with product people. I'm not meeting with co-founders, right? You should really aim to use the bio or the About My Session section to identify and exemplify who is the best fit to chat with you. What value they should expect to get out of your session. Are you hopping on a session and it's more of a pick your brain format where they can just ask you a couple of questions about who you are and what you do, and it's a bit more casual? Are you a coach and you're offering insights, and you can expect to solve some problems on your sessions? Or are you teaching a new skill? I think just aiming to provide a bit more clarity there will allow the consumer to know exactly what they will get out of the session. What can you help with? What sets you apart? What's your unique value proposition? Why are you different than all of the other tutors in the platform? Why are you different than all of the other coaches in the platform? I think communicating that value is really important, and leaning into the ways that make you you. What sessions or services are you offering? That could look like coaching, advising, pick your brain, right? So just giving a bit more understanding to the consumer of what generally those sessions are. And what's the clear call to action? Do you want people to go ahead and book time with you? Do you want them to message you first to gain a bit more clarity before they book a session? And really just spelling that out so the process is clear from the moment they lay eyes on your profile. Cool. So let's flip over to some examples here. There are a couple of ways that we've seen successful experts format this About My Session section. And, there's a couple of ways to slice it. So number one, you can list out bullets of who your sessions are for, how they work, and what value they bring. And I'm going to outline these right now, but we have like tangible examples and a couple of other slides here. You could also describe what types of sessions are that you're offer. So more so by topic or theme. Like this is a career coaching session. This is a pick your brain session. If you want to have different offerings, you can use the bullets to designate those. We've also seen some folks list out the durations of the sessions and what to expect for each one. So it's important to think through if you're offering durations of sessions, 15 minutes all the way up to 2 hours. Well, what are folks getting out of those different durations? What does a 15-minute session look like compared to a 2-hour one, right? So spelling that out clearly in this section will add a lot more understanding from the consumer side. And really just be clear and concise. Put yourself in the shoes of your desired audience and think what would resonate with them. And use some inviting language that sets you apart and showcases your unique personality. So let's hop into some examples here. So I took the example of a career coach because we do have a number of folks on our platform that offer career support in a couple of different avenues, whether it's coaching, resume support, interview support. So I thought this could be a relevant example for us in the room here. And so the way that and these are mock examples, I created these myself, that just outline, if we're looking at the 3 different ways that you can format this section, what would that look like? So this first one of bullets of who your sessions are for, how they work, and what value they bring. This example here really gets at the heart of, hey, if you're a mid-career professional and you're looking to advance in your career or shift to a different career, here's what I can help with. Like, this is what you can expect out of booking a session with me. And you'll notice there are a couple of different offerings that are outlined here. We have resume enhancement, interview preparation, networking, personal branding. You could even have a call out in your bio that says, I offer a couple of different, topics or areas of sessions. When you're booking a session, leave me a note of what you specifically want to cover. And that way you as the expert have that clarity. And the consumer has a section when they're booking that section where they can leave you a note, and you'll see that in the platform once it's booked. So this is one example of just like outlining the different types of offerings based on the audience. Cool. Next slide. This example is more so packaging them up in different themes or areas. So instead of it being framed around the audience, this is more framed around the topic. So we have career transition, resume and LinkedIn review, personal branding, interview coaching, right? They're separate offerings. You as a career coach can speak to each one and provide value in those conversations, but you're giving a bit more context in what to expect in those specific offerings. And then if the consumer has any additional questions, they can always message you through the platform, but at least you're hitting at kind of the elevator pitch for each of these. Cool. Next slide. And then the last formatting option here for this section is to list out the different durations and what to expect. So, a 15-minute discovery call, perhaps we're only having like a quick consultation and I'm giving one suggestion of the best path forward for your unique particular problem that you came to the table with. Whereas if we're meeting for an hour, it's probably going to be a bit more of a deep dive, and here's what's involved in that. So anyone who stumbles upon your profile or gets routed there will have that understanding of, okay, like maybe I don't need a deep dive. Maybe I just need a strategy session that will help frame the pathway for me, and I can book an additional call after that to really do a deeper dive. So it just again, the theme here is like clarity for the consumer. Cool. So this is an example from my own profile. Like I mentioned earlier, I have 3 unique audiences. So I sort of took that first approach where, you're either interested in an expert session, you're cultivating a community of your own and want to pick my brain about that. Or for some of you who already know, I have a background in working in higher education and pivoted into tech a couple of years ago. And that was a very difficult process. So I consider myself an expert based on that experience and can help others with that career pivot navigation. So you'll notice that in each one, very, very unique audience, and really honing in on these are the areas that I can speak to value and that I know a lot about. And it's super clear when you come to my profile and looking at the words here that, if you're not in these audiences, you probably is not a good fit to meet with me. So some other examples from real live experts in the platform. I went through all of our 1,000+ users and picked out some ones that I thought really resonated well and kind of speak to the recommendations we're making here. We have this one from Mimi, who is an engineering strategist, works in software development, and her unique value is that she helps startups and sort of leadership coaching. And I think the way that she succinctly outlined it here, like, here's what I can help you with, and they very clear when you're reading it, what the value she's providing. I think it's a great example. We have Noelle Jones, who's a transformational life coach. What I liked about this example is she really breaks down what someone will expect when they have an initial meeting with her. Like, here's exactly what's going to occur during that session. And I like that a lot because you're, as a consumer, you're not going in blind. You're booking because you have this preconceived notion of what to expect. And I think Noelle does a great job of outlining that here. And Noelle is sort of has two areas of expertise, not only life coaching, but also on the physical fitness side. And I think she, breaks down that value really well here too. We have Meredith Jung, who is a differentiation whisperer. She works with helps with marketing and really communicating the value. So naturally, she did a great job here of communicating her own value. I really loved how she really very succinctly broke down, here are the 2 types of sessions. Here are the audiences. Here's what I can help with. Here's how the session is going to go. And then she calls out, hey, I can support a couple of different types of durations. Just let me know when you're booking the session, right? She doesn't, for what she's offering, she doesn't need to say 15-minute session equals this, 30-minute session equals this, but she does share that context with the consumer so they know she can support those durations. And generally, here's what's going to go down in those sessions. So, and I loved, go back one Florentina. What I love too is the end of her paragraph here, where it's that call to action. Book a session with me now. Are you ready to do this? Book a session with me now. So it's super, super clear what the next step should be for the consumer. Awesome. All right. And if you have any questions about my sessions or any other features as we go along, pop them in the Q&A and I'll be sure to get to them at the end of our webinar here. Great. So next feature I wanted to highlight is our articles feature. And this screenshot right here is an example from a happiness and fulfillment coach on the platform named Catherine. Essentially, the articles feature is a way for you to write an article and publish it on your expert profile. It exists on your profile, and it's a shareable piece of content that you can share out on your social media with your network. And it really just is a place where you can boost your credibility and speak to some of the areas that you're offering sessions about. So for Catherine, I love this example because she does one-to-one coaching, but she also has a podcast where folks will submit anonymous questions and she'll kind of coach do a coaching session on her podcast based on that anonymous question and what she would recommend, how to navigate those situations. And so what she's using articles for is to do like a written recap of those podcast episodes. And I was like, wow, that's fantastic. What a great use case. So that's the example here, but we'll walk through some other examples as we go along. So why create an article? Easy way to create and share knowledge. Super easy to create an article on the platform. You always have access to edit it. You can add in areas of style like photos or links or text formatting, essentially what you would come to expect with any sort of article publishing tool like a Medium. The articles you can edit and customize the link of the article and pretty much customize every other aspect of it too. So you have that direct link that you can share out on your platforms, and anyone that clicks into that article will be able to read it. And there's a call to action right on the side of that article that says book a name, book so-and-so, your name. And when they click that book so-and-so button, your scheduler pops up and they can go ahead and complete that confirmation right there. So just another touch point for folks to discover you and be able to book you directly through that article. And then lastly, it's adds to your credibility and visibility. We recommend when you're thinking of articles to write, really center them around what am I offering sessions on? What are my areas of expertise on Expert Session? And write articles that are in line with that. So it only seeks to add a bit more, credibility to what you're trying to offer with the sessions that you're promoting. So, okay, next slide. So where you can find it, it's going to be on that left-hand menu, manage articles. Right at the top, you'll see a write an article button. You'll see this is an example for my own profile. And so when you click write an article, you'll be brought into the editing screen of that article builder. So Flo, you can go to the next slide. And so this is an example of what it looks like. You have all the text formatting options at the top. If you click into that little icon that is below the headline, you have some options to jazz up your article, upload photos. We have a fun AI image generator beta that you can test out if you don't want to do the searching for images on your own. And we also have an AI content generator if you need help coming up with some ideas of what to write about. It will help generate some initial draft of content, and then you can go in to add your own flavor and really put your own spice on it. So this is how you would edit and create the article. You can update your own thumbnail. You can update the description of the article that appears on your expert profile, and that's that summary there. And again, you can customize that URL. So it really is a way for you to showcase your own personal brand in addition to boosting your credibility, because you can center it around what makes you you. Cool. So where it exists on the expert profile, it's going to live right below your social media accounts on the profile itself. So this is an example of our very own Florentina, our marketing manager on the call, who's pulling the strings behind the curtain on this webinar. This is her expert profile, and you'll see that when it's in its published state, that article spotlight appears with their customized name, customized subheadline. And when you click read more, that brings you into the article itself. And you'll see that book now call to action on the side, allowing folks to quickly book time with you if they resonate with what you wrote. This is an example of one of our very own experts, Lisa Pertoso. She is a creativity coach, and what I loved about her article is she also loves doing improv. That's a huge part of her background. And so she wrote an article about how the principles of improv fuse into boosting creativity, and her whole value on the platform, what she offers sessions on, is exactly about that, boosting your creativity and finding creative solutions to feeling stuck or dealing with difficult problems. So it's a really fun approach to, it's not just like, I'm an expert at this and this is why I'm an expert. It's, hey, I'm a multi-dimensional human with many interests, and one of them is improv. And here's how that relates to who I am on Expert Session and what kinds of sessions I host on the platform. So I love the tie-in here. Cool. So that is articles. Again, drop your questions in the Q&A if you have them. But we're gonna move on to discount codes. Discount codes are a new feature we rolled out just in the last couple, I think in the last month or so. So it's very, very new. You can find it by clicking into My Settings, and right at the top header bar, you'll see discounts. And then from there, you'll be able to add a discount code and use that for your benefit. So let's walk through why discount codes exist and how to use them. We wanted to provide an opportunity for experts to use discount codes for incentivizing and attracting clients to book a session with them. And as we see in the marketing world, and as I'm sure you've seen as well, discounts and incentives are a great way to bring people into the fold and just build up your audience, especially if you're newer here on the platform. So there are a couple of different ways that we see as effective for using discount codes. Number one, attracting new clients. You can say, any first-time bookings, here's X code for 20% off your first session. And just having that open door for new folks to come in with that discount code. You could use it as a incentive for returning clients. Say, you booked a session with me, but your second one, use this code and you'll get X amount off. So just creating that level of retention and building that relationship. You could do seasonal promotions. We've seen some for like New Year promotions. You could tailor it around holidays or significant events. So, you could have your own Memorial Day sale, not just the car company, right? So you can really tailor it to things that are already being celebrated in the social sphere and capitalize on that interest through creating a discount code for that purpose. You could use it as a referral incentive. So if you have a session with a client and that client has a friend who could also benefit from meeting with you, perhaps you give that original client a discount code to share with that friend or person in their network. And it just allows that network effect to take fold. And now you're creating like a referral engine through discount codes. And then lastly, through just a standard marketing campaign and allowing discount codes to be a way for you to create content in your network and say, hey, I'm doing this particular campaign with this code, and now you get the opportunity to meet with me for a little bit less. So those are a couple of different use cases for discount codes. There could be others, and if there are others that aren't listed here that you're already kind of brewing, feel free to share them in the chat. Would love to kind of hear your ideas there. Awesome. So this is what it looks like when you are creating the discount code. When you click add discount code, it brings you to this screen. You can customize the name of the code. You can add up to 50% off, anywhere from 1 to 50. And the status should already be active. Just make sure that it's designated active. You'll click save. And from there on out, that code is active. So you choose on who and where and how you share that code out. That code's not discoverable in the platform. So it's up. We wanted to give you the keys to the castle, give you the control to share that code out when you see fit. But now that it's active, once you do share it out with a particular person, they'll be able to use it, and the discount code or the discounts will happen from there. So a couple of things to keep in mind. There are no expiration dates on the discount code just yet. We have that on our roadmap for the future. So in the meantime, if you wanted to run like a time-sensitive campaign, like say for the month of February, I'm offering 20% off, you'll just have to go back into the platform on March 1st and make that code inactive just by switching that toggle. So just set a reminder for yourself somewhere in your calendar to do that. Codes are case sensitive, so make sure you share it as exactly how it appears. And discount codes, the names are unique in our system. So if someone else has a 20 off naming convention for their code and you try to create a 20 off naming convention code, you'll just get a message from our platform to say, hey, that naming convention is already being used, and you can come up with something else for your 20 off, maybe 20 off your first name, right? Perfect. So that is discount codes. And then lastly, we have the boost your booking section. And you can find this in my dashboard, which is on that left side navigation bar. Your dashboard, for those of you who are new, is really your one-stop shop for managing your business in the platform. So you'll find not only the boost your booking section, but you'll also find a summary of your revenue, any booked sessions that you might have, and some quick actions to edit your profile. You'll see a toggle to turn your profile visible or not visible. Recommend keeping it visible so folks can find you. And you'll have your profile URL that you can copy through boost your booking. So this section, we've had some variation of this when we first rolled out the platform, but what we've added here, which I think is super valuable, is the quick link, first off, to your profile link. We find that folks who share their profile out get booked twice as more often. It's that personal branding piece, it's that promotion piece. We also have ways to easy share on Facebook and LinkedIn. And we also have a template that you can use to tailor your announcement that you're hosting sessions on Expert Session for social media. So we have like a starting point for you. If you're like, oh, I don't know how to phrase that. I don't know how to, tell people that I'm hosting sessions. We have a starting point for you in the template. What's not listed here too, that we just rolled out this week actually, and I listed it here in the bullets. We have a website embed that you can use to embed a snapshot of your profile on your own website. So if you're someone who has an established website that is getting traffic as well, and you want to kind of tie Expert Session to your website, you don't necessarily need to just like include a link, which is not very aesthetically pleasing. Now we have a website embed where you can have different aesthetic options for promoting your profile. And we also have another embed where you can embed your scheduler, and that's being updated in real time if you have your calendar connected. So just ways to kind of tie your knowledge businesses together and make it a bit more friendly on the eyes to anyone that stumbles on your website. And so there are a couple of different ways to maximize this section. If there's any other support that myself or the team can provide on how to share your profile out, what that looks like, we can definitely talk one-on-one. We're also going to be hosting a social media promotion workshop in March, and so we'll dive a bit deeper on best practices there. But I wanted to showcase some real examples of folks sharing this message to their networks that they're hosting sessions on Expert Session. And the first on the left, we have Andrew Young, who is one of our most booked experts on the platform. He kept his announcement pretty simple, but that's sort of within his like how he has his own personal branding. It's very like punchy and concise and like value driven. So I think this is a perfect message for his particular audience. And it links directly to his profile. We have Amanda Stockwell, who is a UX consultant and educator. And what I loved about her announcement is that it's just a bit more conversational. She took our template and really made it her own. And I think it speaks to her unique personality as an educator and as a consultant. So great example there. And then Scott Schwab on the right here, he helps entrepreneurs grow and thrive. And so he speaks to his unique value in his announcement on LinkedIn. So just a couple of examples there. Again, if you need any help crafting that announcement to share out, we're happy to help. We have also some articles within our Success Center, which is a blog area of the platform, where we have some helpful tips and tricks on a couple of these pieces that we're discussing today. And one of them is on social media promotion. So if you're struggling, feel free to check that article out or schedule some time with me and my team. Awesome. All right. Wow. I was super efficient. Let's take a look at the Q&A here. Will this be available? Yeah, we will. Great call out, Lynette. We will be sending out the recording and the slides after the webinar today. You can expect to see that tomorrow morning in your inbox. So rest assured. Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that first if you were taking notes, but at least you have your own notes if you're taking them, and then you'll have our slides and recording to reference. Terry asks, do we have a Loom video that walks us through step by step what you recommend posting for an article? Great question, Terry, because we are just putting the finishing touches on a Success Center article that really dives deeper into how to create an article and example prompts that you can steal to just start your own article from scratch. So we'll have that out to you soon. But a Loom article is a great idea, or a Loom video is a great idea. So maybe I'll chat with my team and see if maybe we can add like a little Loom video element to the article once we publish that. And then Terry with another great question. Can we repurpose articles that we've written for other platforms like LinkedIn, blog posts, etc.? What's your policy on that? I would say if it's a expansion on something that you've already written or a condensed summary, I think that's fine. But what we find to kind of mess up your own SEO is to have two identical articles in different places. So I would just say it's completely fine to take a topic that you've written about and repurpose it for our platform and the articles feature, but just make sure that it's like different enough, I would say. And then can you include links? Let me go back to that one. Can we include links to our videos, podcasts, or include legally used pictures? Yes, absolutely. You have the option to add links, add photos. You can link out to additional videos. Terry, I know specifically for you, you do a video podcast. So if you wanted to link out to that, by all means, definitely do so. Sweet. Okay. And then, okay, great. I think that's everything. Did anyone else have any other questions here while I'm live? And I guess if you're still with us, drop in the chat what feature you're most excited about. All right. Florentine, we can go to the next slide here. Cool. So what we recommend for next steps for success, we have, like I mentioned, our Success Center that has those helpful articles on particular features or ways to promote yourself or ways to use the platform. So definitely recommend checking that out. And to give you like a little kind of pathway to-do list here, I would say this week into next week, take a look at the About My Session section, start to think through what your unique value is, what your audience is, who your audience is and how you can provide assistance or guidance to them. And then include that information in your bio and the About My Session section. Think through how you want to format those bullets so that it's clear what folks will get out of booking a session with you. Next, think about what topics you could write an article about. And our only recommendation there is make sure that it ties to what you're offering sessions about in the platform and what you're communicating your expertise is. So, if you're a career coach, I maybe wouldn't recommend writing an article about like dogs, for example, right? I think that's great that you love dogs, but for the purposes of boosting your credibility in the platform, let's keep it centered around your unique value and voice as it relates to your sessions. And then lastly, check out the Boost Your Booking section. Feel free to take a look at our template, edit it to your own unique voice, and then share the announcement out within your network that you're hosting sessions. We also have that website embed feature if you have your own website, so take a look at that. And it just kind of ties it all together to create this perfect narrative of you're an expert on expert session. And then next week, I would suggest taking a crack at writing your own article. You can publish it on your profile and then share it out in your network. If you're kind of tentative around, I don't know about the announcement, I think sharing an article is a great way to get people kind of driven into your expert profile through the words and expertise that you share in that article, because people, again, have that quick link to book a session with you right there. So make it a goal to take a stab at the articles feature and publish your first article within the next week or so. And again, if you need any help with that, our team is always available to support. Yeah, awesome. Lindsay, thank you. I'm excited about the About My sessions too. Again, the bio, lots of heavy lifting. It was a bodybuilder. So I'm glad we have the separate sections now. So in terms of what to expect on the event side, what we're hosting a lot of cool stuff in the next couple of months. The next one coming up is the LinkedIn branding workshop featuring one of our experts who's in the platform, Erin Anderson. She's a LinkedIn strategist and top career coach. So I would highly recommend joining for that one. It's going to be super value packed. I'm trying to be more vocal on LinkedIn myself, so I'm excited to get the insights too, selfishly, but I think it'll be just a great opportunity to hear from one of the best in the LinkedIn branding field. So we'll be sending that link out. Florentine, if you could put that in the chat, that would be awesome. And then we have a calendar of events coming up. I mentioned a social media promotion workshop in March. We also have a balancing parenthood and work panel coming up in March featuring a fatherhood and a motherhood coach being moderated by one of our experts in the platform. So super excited for that. And if you have any suggestions on future events that we should consider hosting, if there are particular topics that would help you be successful on the platform that you're struggling with, maybe it's self-promotion, maybe it's another area that you could use some professional development. That's what we're here for. We want to support you in your unique journey. So feel free to shoot us a note after the webinar if there are particular topics or areas that you have in mind for future events. Cool. And then I saw a Q&A come through. Terry asks, do we have a way to we experts can connect with each other experts Facebook group to swap ideas on how to build our expert session business? It would be great to hear ideas from others on what they're doing that is generating more paid sessions. Terry, yes, this has been top of mind for me as director of community. I will tell you, my only hesitation with opening up a Facebook group is that I don't want it to be this place that, is just not serving a lot of value. I really want to be intentional about the way we're creating that online space for experts to connect. So what I can say is that it will come in the near future. It's definitely something that's top of mind for me, but I want to do it in a way that, is not rushed, that is not scrappy. Like I really want it to have value for y'all. So Terry, if you have any particular ideas on that, feel free to shoot me a note. But yes, I want to connect y'all to each other. I just want to do it in a meaningful way. And you asked another question here. Here are their ideas for generating revenue on the platform. Absolutely. I think we want to host events in the future that spotlights particular experts who have been successful at generating some revenue in the platform and just sharing some tips and tricks there. So definitely on our queue for event ideas. So thanks for calling that one out. Yes, Lindsay, thank you for saying expert community section. We are actually building that as we speak. So you're a mind reader. And that will hopefully go live in the next month or so. It'll just be a condensed space for future events, past events, feature some of y'all's articles, and an easy way to connect with me. So that's the first iteration of our community site. And then in the future, I'll have links out to whatever online space or community we decide to have here. So Lindsay, great ideas. We're on the same page. Anything else before we wrap for today? As always, you have the opportunity to book a session with me if you want a deeper dive on your particular expert profile. I'm happy to hop on with you in the platform and just give you some tips and tricks based on the unique sessions that you're offering. We have a free code that we can send out in the email that you'll get this morning or tomorrow morning. So yeah, I'm happy to do that. And again, any ideas you have for our community, future events, I'm all ears. I'm excited to support. Cool. And I think that is, Florentine, I think that's the last slide, right? Yes, here we go. Our last thank you slide. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Lindsay, for everyone in the chat, for everyone on the line. I hope this was helpful. If there's any confusion on any of these features, again, we're here to help. But I will give you back some time in your day. Thanks so much, and hope I can meet some of y'all soon.